Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. If everyone could find a seat, we will go ahead and get started with tonight's event. Thank you so much for your attendance, and we appreciate your support of the Prattville Area Chamber of Commerce Candidate Forum. Thank you again for being with us tonight. I'm Lisa Miller, and I have the honor of serving as chair of the Governmental Affairs Committee for the Prattville Area Chamber of Commerce. I also serve on the Chamber's Board of Directors. On behalf of the Board of Directors, we're proud to offer this candidate forum as a service to our community, providing valuable insight for voters, chamber members, and local businesses. I'd like to emphasize that this is a nonpartisan event designed to give residents the opportunity to hear directly from the candidates seeking office. This forum serves as a platform for candidates to share their perspectives and to respond to questions on key issues facing the city of Prattville. At this time, I'd like to ask John Schmidt, if all of you would stand, but I would like to ask John Schmidt to come and give our invocation as well as our Pledge of Allegiance. John also serves on the Prattville Chamber Board.
Would you join me for a word of prayer, please? Oh, Lord, we thank you for the city of Prattville, that we get to live here, work here, raise our families here. Lord, we thank you that for our nation, and that we live in a country where we get to freely elect our leaders. And tonight, Lord, we're going to hear from candidates for the position of mayor and all the city council positions. And Lord, we just ask your blessings on this meeting, that each and every candidate will be able to be relaxed and be themselves so we can see who they really are. We also ask that you bless us as we listen, that you give us discernment and help us understand who we're going to be voting for. Lord, we ask your hand of blessing to remain on the city of Prattville. You've blessed us so much. And Lord, I pray that you put it on the hearts of our residents here to vote. Coming up here on August 26th, Lord, we need to vote. This is a great freedom and privilege we have. And Lord, I just thank you again for this evening. May everything we say and do help us be better citizens, and we're grateful for all that you bless us with. In the name of Christ I pray, amen. And now would you join me for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you, John. We would also like to thank the city of Prattville for the use of Doster for tonight's forum. I also have the honor of moderating tonight's candidate forum for the city of Prattville mayoral and city council elections. For the past decade, the Chamber has hosted candidate forums as a public service to our community. These forums are conducted in a fair and impartial manner, with the Chamber remaining strictly neutral throughout the process. We are not endorsing any candidates. The City Council districts represented will be Districts 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 7. Prattville City Council District 5 has no opposition. Before we begin this evening's candidate forum, I'd like to take a moment to share a few important guidelines to ensure a respectful, civil, and productive event. The Prattville Area Chamber of Commerce is dedicated to ensuring a safe, respectful, and productive environment for all participants in this candidate forum. As a nonpartisan organization, the Chamber's role is to facilitate an open and informative platform for the public to hear directly from the City Council and mayoral candidates. This forum does not represent an endorsement of any candidate. Our commitment is to serve as a neutral convener, promoting civic engagement and strengthening the connection between local leaders and the community they represent. Our expectations for the candidates. Candidates are expected to engage in civil discourse and refrain from personal attacks. Candidates must follow established guidelines, including time limits and staying on topic in response to questions. Candidates are expected to be truthful and avoid making false or misleading claims. And interruptions of the moderator or fellow candidates are not permitted. Our expectations for attendees and supporters. Attendees are asked to refrain from disruptive actions, including verbal harassment or excessive displays of support or opposition. Threatening, abusive, or personal insulting behavior, as well as repeated disruptions, will not be tolerated. All attendees must follow chamber-established rules regarding questions, audience participation, and conduct during the event. Failure to adhere to these guidelines may result in removal from the premises by a uniformed officer. The questions being asked tonight were developed by an independent committee comprised of representatives from the Prattville Area Chamber of Commerce membership, which includes a diverse group of individuals and businesses from across our community. The featured questions will center around the 4 pillars of the Prattville Chamber's strategic plan: education, economic and workforce development, small business, and military support and partnerships. For each race, candidates will be called to the stage one at a time in alphabetical order by last name. They each will respond to a series of prepared questions, concluding with a final wrap-up questions. There will be 2 minutes per question, 3 questions, and 1 minute for the closing statement. We have an official timekeeper seated in the front row. When the yellow card is raised, it indicates the candidate has 30 seconds remaining. A red card signals that the allotted time has ended. Due to time limitations, there will not be any questions from the audience. Additionally, we kindly ask that you hold your applause until the conclusion of each candidate race. Please remember the code of conduct instructions that were mentioned earlier. In addition, the forum will be streamed live by Prattville Alive. Thank you for your cooperation, and we look forward to an informative and respectful forum. So let's get started. 2 minutes. The candidates that we have for City Council District 1 are Wade Newman, Russ Sanders, and Melissa Strickland. And as we mentioned earlier, they will go alphabetical order by last name. Excuse us just one moment. Ready? All right. Our first candidate on stage will be Wade Newman. We apologize for some of the technical difficulties, but we'll get this going. Good evening, Mr. Newman.
Hi, how are you guys?
Question 1. Mr. Newman, we'll have 3 questions, 2 minutes each, and then a closing statement of 1 minute. And the timekeeper is in the front and will give you the sign as to when you have 30 seconds and then when you need to wrap up.
All right.
So let's get started. Question 1. For the past 30 years, economic and workforce development efforts have been housed within the Chamber, playing a critical role in supporting local business growth and talent development. As an elected official, how would you support and promote economic and workforce development in the city? And what specific strategies would you implement to ensure continued progress in these areas?
Well, to be quite honest with you, economic and workforce development is very important, and it's tied to some of the other issues that we have as well in the city, education being one of them. But you know, it's a very difficult time for Prattville right now in some ways, and I don't know if we've realized that there's been some changes. We have been moved in a way that, you know, the Pine Level corridor has been removed from us occupying and using to continue to grow into. So economic development is going to be a little bit trickier for us now going forward. We're going to have to work a little bit differently and a little bit harder. We do have a good economic developer in the city, proven track record, a very capable, very competent person. But I think what we need to do is, from a councilman's perspective, is make sure that we, you know, streamline some services as far as making sure our permitting processes are straight, our zoning ordinances are in line with what we need to do here, and we need to look and think and plan strategically ahead. You know, as a councilman, you're one of 7 voices, one of 7 votes, and you represent your district. So making sure that you're representing the district in a way that, you know, District 1 is a little bit different district than District 5 and 6. It's a little bit more of a county hybrid city district, more surgical approach to businesses going into the area, residential development. So, you know, partnering with our school systems, partner with our chamber to streamline job training and making sure that we've got a good ripe environment from our economic developer. And the team that does that, to make sure that we can grow in the right direction and plan ahead to make sure that we're prepared for that. So,
thank you, Mr. Newman. Question 2. The Chamber maintains strong partnerships with the Tauga County Board of Education, Central Alabama Community College, and Maxwell Air Force Base. What do you believe the role and responsibilities of city government should be in supporting education and military affairs? And how would you work to strengthen these relationships?
So education is the #1 topic that has been discussed by me when I knock doors and canvass District 1. It is the #1 topic. It is a very complex idea for us to deal with as well, because we don't own our own education system. We have a middleman. We have the county that is responsible for managing it. But 60% of the children that occupy that county process live within the city limits of Prattville. So it is morally something that we are obligated to make sure we're taking care of. And a lot of candidates are going to talk to you about education. It is a complex issue. So as a city councilman, I want to make sure that we can either, you know, look at some of the options in the future. We're going to have to either do nothing and let the current system operate, or we're going to have to either take it on ourselves and cut out the middleman, which is going to require a lot of planning and a lot of saving and a lot of thought processes into that, or we're going to have to make sure that we partner with an entity like the community college and streamline that, which is what I would prefer to do. So I think to support that, I would lean more into us working collaborating with our Board of Education, the community college. We can share resources. We can offset costs. We can put in together programs for dual credit. We can put together shorter education programs and focus on skills that can go into the military life a little bit better. And as a father that's raised 6 kids and been through multiple education systems across multiple states to include the Department of Defense, I believe as a city councilman I bring a unique set of skills to the table there, where I can talk to about the military lifestyle, integrating with the military, and how we can have our children better prepared to deal with that. So,
thank you. Question 3. With 88% of our chamber membership made up of small businesses, supporting entrepreneurship is a vital part of our local economy. What do you believe is the role of city government in fostering small business growth and entrepreneurship? And what specific initiatives would you champion to support these efforts?
So I believe that the government does have a role in that, and like I said earlier, we have a great economic developer in the city, proven track record. Given the right environment and the right conditions, she can do a lot. And I think part of that relies on us as city council to make sure that we set that economic developer up for success. As far as small businesses go, they're definitely the heartbeat of our city and the heartbeat of our nation. A lot of our GDP is generated from small business. And you know, I frequent quite a few of them downtown. The West Main Coffee House, Fox's Pizza, 243. I go to Smart Skin for my haircut. I mean, Mix for lunch. I mean, I'm all about the small business. And I think that we can, again, our zoning ordinances, making sure that we maybe set up some type of an incubator would be something I'd like to see us do. Make sure that we work with the chamber. The chamber's been very, very good at working to set up downtown events that foster an environment for some of the small businesses downtown. So I think that chamber partnership, setting up a good environment for the economic developers key, and then making sure that you know, we can give them the chance to do what they're supposed to do. One of 7 that's going to be able to work to do that, and I think it's extremely important for us to do that as well.
Thank you, Mr. Newman. You now have 1 minute for your closing statement.
So my closing statement is really this. My campaign's more about, it's not about politics, it's about service. I'm a 5th generation Prattville native. I grew up here. This is my dirt. My mom jokes that I'm the only one of her kids that bleeds red clay when I'm cut. I love my hometown. I joined the Army in 1984, immediately after high school in '83, and my hometown never left me, even though I left. I want to come back and serve my district, and I want to serve my community. I want to put the word represent back in representative. That's why I knocked 80% of the doors in this district, so that I could meet you at your door and let you know that I intend to honor that pledge to represent you well, and that you know, I'm financing my own campaign because I'm trying to make my own way, and let you know that I'm for real trying to be someone that speaks Prattvillian, has the genetic DNA to understand how the city was cobbled together and the unique challenges that it has ahead, and I want to honor that by working as hard as I can to do that. So that's my.
Thank you, Mr. Newman. Thank you for your response to the questions. You may now exit the stage.
Thanks.
Our next candidate on stage will be Russ Sanders. Good evening, Mr. Sanders.
Good evening.
We have 3 questions for you. You have 2 minutes each for each question to respond, and then you'll have 1 minute for a closing statement. The first question is, for the past 30 years, economic and workforce development efforts have been housed within the Chamber, playing a critical role in supporting local business growth and talent development. As an elected official, how would you support and promote economic and workforce development in our city? And what specific strategies would you implement to ensure continued progress in these areas?
Economic development is very important to our city. Over the last several years, I think that we've done a very good job growing. I think we've grown in a way that we've not outgrown our infrastructure. And I would like to continue to see that type of growth in the future. workforce development, I think it's very important that we meet with these industries, find out what they're looking for, and work with our education to have our students ready for the workforce when they graduate.
Thank you, Ms. Sanders. And I failed to do this, so it's my fault. We have a timekeeper in the front that will hold up a yellow card when you have 30 seconds and then a red card when you're out of time. So just to let you know that.
Okay.
Again, my apologies. Question 2, the Chamber maintains strong partnerships with the Autauga County Board of Education, Central Alabama Community College, and Maxwell Air Force Base. What do you believe the role and responsibilities of city government should be in supporting education and military affairs? And how would you work to strengthen these relationships?
Just that the city is a support for those entities. I think it's very important that we make our military families feel welcome. I think it's important that I can't imagine moving around every couple of years and not having my spouse not having a job lined up. So I think it is very important that we work together so that the credentials and that the certificates that someone may have, a spouse may have in another area, they can come here and go right into the workforce. But as far as support, I would like to see, I think we can do a better job and like to see growth on that.
Thank you. Question 3. With 88% of our chamber membership made up of small businesses, supporting entrepreneurship is a vital part of our local economy. What do you believe is the role of city government in fostering small business growth and entrepreneurship? And what specific initiatives would you champion to support these efforts?
Small business is vital to our community. In the comprehensive plan for the city of Prattville, it talks about the importance of small business and how it affects the community and how they're more likely to revitalize an older area. I've actually been talking with our economic developer to come up with plans that involve helping those small businesses, whether it be helping with a facade of infrastructure, maybe some kind of rebate, but it is vital to have that small business in our area.
Thank you. You now have 1 minute for a closing statement.
Thank y'all for putting this on, and it has been an honor to serve the city of Prattville over the last 10 months as a councilman. And I will say this, if you are looking for empty promises, somebody that's going to make a decision based on whether they're going to gain or lose a vote, I'm not your guy. If you want somebody that's going to be transparent and honest with you, then I ask for your support on August 26th.
Thank you, Ms. Sanders. You may now exit the stage. Our next candidate making her way to the stage is Melissa Strickland. Good evening, Ms. Strickland.
Good evening.
Hi.
Hi.
Just to let you know, we have a timekeeper in the front who will hold up a yellow card when you have 30 seconds and a red card when you're out of time. You'll be allotted 2 minutes per question. There are 3 questions, and then 1 minute for a wrap-up or closing statement.
Okay.
So let's get started.
Thank you.
Question 1. For the past 30 years, economic and workforce development efforts have been housed within the Chamber, playing a critical role in supporting local business growth and talent development. As an elected official, how would you support and promote economic and workforce development in the city? And what specific strategies would you implement to ensure continued progress in these areas?
Well, I'm going to be honest, of the 4 pillars that you tasked us with tonight, this is probably my weakest area because I'm not a city planner, I'm not a developer, I don't build houses, there's lots of things I don't do. What I can tell you is that I know that nationwide our service jobs seem to be far outweighing our economic jobs like manufacturing, those kinds of things, which really are great jobs that help give people careers, living wages, and those kind of jobs I know can really help support economics in the city. Obviously, the chamber is very important to that. I know that the city employs people, planners, attorneys. We also work with our local education system in our anywhere from the high school, which has, of course, the technical school, all the way up to our community colleges, even partnering with tri-county areas to help educate people who want to come back here and fulfill those jobs here. So I don't know if I have a full-on plan, if I'm really being honest, because I think there's a lot for me to learn in this area. But I do know that good jobs here mean all these other pillars, like education and small business, all the things that, housing, the things that matter to the people that live here, those come with that. So if we can get people to invest here, that's just good for everybody.
Thank you, ma'am. Next question. The Chamber maintains strong partnerships with the Watauga County Board of Education, Central Alabama Community College, and Maxwell Air Force Base. What do you believe the role and responsibilities of city government should be in supporting education and military affairs, and how would you work to strengthen these relationships?
Well, as an educator of 28 years, of course, I have some strong feelings about this. This is up my alley. Maybe not city planning, but this is up my alley. The partnership is really important, and partnership does not mean complete funding. Partnership does not mean we make all the decisions. The whole point of a partnership is we help each other. I do respect that the citizens of this county did not vote the millage increase. I respect that. So now what we have to do is take other avenues of income that are available to us to strengthen what we do have. So our own financial officer, when talking about some of the taxes we already have coming in, talked about discretion. He was asked about those funds and said, well, we have some discretion. So in my opinion, we should use that discretion to make sure that because so many of our students, while they're not all not all county students live in the city, most of them do. And when people look to move to Prattville, when they research this area, if the schools are not good, they are not going to come. Our schools are not failing, but if we don't help partner, they will, and then Prattville will fail. And they're very, very closely tied together. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Question 3. With 88% of our chamber membership made up of small businesses, supporting entrepreneurship is a vital part of our local economy. What do you believe is the role of city government in fostering small business growth and entrepreneurship, and what specific initiatives would you champion to support these efforts?
So I come from a background where both of my parents were actually self-employed. They owned small businesses. Now, they weren't in this state, but I grew up understanding and hearing some of the complaints or some of the just challenges of dealing with local and federal laws and different things, and having to make sure that they could pay their employees and all of the regulations they had to follow. I think that one of the things I do hear from small businesses is kind of understanding how things work in Prattville for small business, making sure that if you want to be an entrepreneur, what steps do you need to take to do that? What business licenses do you need to have? Who can you partner with? What are the regulations and rules about the business that you happen to be in? And making sure that those are applied equally. I don't have inside knowledge with this, but sometimes I hear that people feel like the city, that maybe it's not communicated well, and that some people feel like their business isn't getting a fair shake here, or maybe they feel like they're not supported. And I think our city does try to do that, but I think we can do that better. I really think we can, so that we want small businesses to stay. They're the heart of our town. When people are on social media talking about visiting Prattville, they're not coming to Lowe's, they're not coming to these big chains, they're coming to small businesses. And so we definitely need to support them so that they become part of our Prattville that we love.
Thank you, Ms. Strickland. That concludes our questions. You now have 1 minute for a closing statement.
Okay. So there's two things that are great about local government. One is that they really matter. We're not far away. The people who are helping run things are close by. And that also means local and more direct accountability, which I think is really great. My key word is invested. I'm invested in this community. I have family, kids, grandkids who have grown up here, who have gone through the schools, and who have remained here, which I really appreciate and love. I value the cultural aspect of our city, all of the events we do, the sports, including the sports, not just our arts areas, small business. I also have military connections. While I was not serving myself, many of my family members have, including my father and my husband. I know what those people are looking for when they come to our area. And of course, education. I have a very good idea of what the needs of our schools are and how we can partner with them after being in the trenches for so long. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Strickland. You may now exit the stage.
Thank you.
We will now hear from the Prattville City Council candidates for District 2. Our first candidate is Marcus Jackson. Good evening, Mr. Jackson.
Good evening.
We will have 3 questions for you tonight, 2 minutes each to respond to those, and then you'll have 1 minute for a closing statement. We have a timekeeper in the front who will hold up a yellow card when you have 30 seconds, and then the red card means that your allotted time is over. So let's get started.
Yes, ma'am.
Question 1. For the past 30 years, economic and workforce development efforts have been housed within the Chamber, playing a critical role in supporting local business growth and talent development. As an elected official, how would you support and promote economic and workforce development in the city? And what specific strategies would you implement to ensure continued progress in these areas?
Well, I must say that we have to continue to support organizations such as the Chamber of Commerce. It's essential because they provide so much support, networking opportunities for our local small businesses. We have to continue to fund them so that they can continue to build our local small businesses. I know several years ago, the council, we cut back some of the funding for the Chamber of Commerce, which I was totally against because I felt that the local Chamber of Commerce is way too important for us to cut back any type of funding, and we need them to continue to grow here in our community. And I think workforce development, it goes back to education. You know, I'll get into that a little bit more, and I'll probably repeat myself while I'm here, but we have to continue to educate our community, got to educate our young people, because we'll never continue to grow as a community without properly educating our workforce. We'll never attract another James Hardy or any other industries here without an educated workforce. That's what they're looking for when they're coming. When these companies look for cities to move into, they want a workforce that's ready and willing to be trained and get the job going. I know we had a job fair in District 2 back in March, and we had several companies beating down the door to get here and to participate in the job force because they're looking for people willing and ready to work. So we had over 20 businesses that were here in District 2 working and looking for people that's ready to go to work right away.
Thank you. Question 2. The Chamber maintains strong partnerships with the Watauga County Board of Education, Central Alabama Community College, and Maxwell Air Force Base. What do you believe the role and responsibilities of city government should be in supporting education and military affairs, and how would you work to strengthen these relationships?
It's essential. Of course, I work in education for the last 19 years. The military is vital to our community. We've been known to be a community that's military friendly, and, people know that they want to bring their kids here, especially in the past, they wanted to bring their kids here because of our education. I was reading an article several years ago where over half of the military officers at Maxwell were refusing to bring their families here because of the quality of education. And I think right now, as a city government, we need to work as hard as we can to improve our educational system. I think we have a superintendent and a school board right now that is more transparent, the most transparent that I've ever seen, and they're willing to work. And I think we as a city have a mandate to help them fix the school system, because we can't continue to lose families to Pike Roads and to any other communities without a quality education system in place. So Prattville has been known for its education, and I think we have to get to that point where we're at the top. I feel that we've kind of slacked a little bit, but I think we as a city have to invest because, again, we're building, but in order to continue to grow and bring industry, we got to have a educational system that's going to attract businesses, that's going to allow the military to bring their families. We can't afford to lose Maxwell. Maxwell generates over $2 billion to our river region. So we have to partner and work with Maxwell, Chamber of Commerce, and our local school board.
Thank you. Question 3. With 88% of our chamber membership made up of small businesses, supporting entrepreneurship is a vital part of our local economy. What do you believe is the role of city government in fostering small business growth and entrepreneurship? And what specific initiatives would you champion to support these efforts? Again,
it goes back to supporting the chamber. We have to support our local chamber. They're the conduit. They're bringing businesses together. They're helping attract. We have an economic developer that we have in place now, and we have to work as a city with the economic developer, the chamber, and all the local small businesses to give them what they need and want. I sat with some local small business owners recently and to hear some of their concerns, and I think we need to make more of an effort moving forward to sit down with the local small businesses and hear their needs and hear their wants. And, I think we've kind of taken them for granted. We had a small business discussion recently down at Uncle Mick's, and that was my first time ever sitting down and listening to their needs. And I must say, kind of shame on me, but it was an eye-opener, and that lets me know moving forward, we need to have these conversations with our local small businesses to make sure that they're included, making sure we're not neglecting them, especially, there's been some concern with some with some newer businesses coming into town that are not small businesses, and I think we need to listen because they're the heartbeat of our community, and we have to continue to support them because they do so much for our community. I was thinking about what they do for our schools. I was thinking how just even today, I was reaching out to some small businesses to help fund some of our teachers' birthdays. Hey, can I call and get you guys to donate $10 to help support some of our teachers? And you know what? Everybody's jumping through hoops. Hey, what can we do to help? So they're going to support us. They're going to support our schools. Therefore, we have to support them.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson. That concludes the questions. You now have 1 minute for a closing statement.
I must say I've worked really hard over the last 9 years to work and cooperate with everyone on the council. I've worked to try to keep my community informed. We've had community meetings. We've done all we could. And I want to see our citizens become more engaged, more involved. I know over the recent weeks, we've had more involvement at our community meetings, at our city council meetings. And I think and I pray that we'll keep that same energy into the next quadrennium because it's so essential. My motto for this campaign has been working for you, fighting for us. And I look forward to the day where we don't have to fight to get things accomplished in our community, especially in District 2. I look forward to the day where we have conversations and then that all the,
I'm sorry, Mr. Jackson, that
All right.
concludes your time.
All right.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. You may now exit the stage. Our next candidate on stage will be Cornelia Smith. Good evening, Mr. Smith.
Good afternoon.
Just to let you know, and just as a reminder, we have 3 questions. You'll have a chance to answer those 2 minutes each, and then you'll have 1 minute for a closing statement. We have a timekeeper in the front who will hold up a yellow card when you have 30 seconds left, and then the red card when we're going to take the hook and pull you off the stage. Sorry about that. So let's get started. Question 1. For the past 30 years, economic and workforce development efforts have been housed within the Chamber, playing a critical role in supporting local business growth and talent development. As an elected official, how would you support and promote economic and workforce development in our city? And what specific strategies would you implement to ensure continued progress in these areas?
Well, first of all, a thriving economy is very important to the city of Prattville. I think we have already started the process of growing the city. So with that said, that's why I would support strengthening the pathways from school to employment. Make sure our high school students, when they get out, they have proper education to work in our industries. Also, make sure they have good college education so they can be able to factor in and help our businesses grow. Also, small businesses. As small business owner, we are encouraging each and every person to start a small business and also support them in this matter. Prattville should always support their small businesses. I believe in investing in soft skills, which is communication. We got to make sure our kids are well versed in their skills in communication. Also, teamwork, problem solving. We have to invest in our future.
Thank you. Question 2. The Chamber maintains strong partnerships with the Autauga County Board of Education, Central Alabama Community College, and Maxwell Air Force Base. What do you believe the role and responsibilities of city government should be in supporting education and military affairs, and how would you work to strengthen these relationships?
First of all, when it comes to education, I would strongly like to work with the Superintendent of Education and the Autauga County Board of Education. We must also keep quality learning into our school. We must build programs that boost economic performances, enhance career developments. We must also be ready, have them college ready. So I heard that Prattville, as I was researching, we are in the 38th percentile of college readiness, which is a great job for Prattville High School. I think that as long as we continue to keep our kids educated and ready for the future, we are ready to do that. Also, Maxwell Air Force Base, always been very good to us. We have been partnering with them for a while. Prattville need to keep their medical staff, our medical schools in place, our schools, our communities, our religion. Also, crime reports. Make sure our crime continue to stay down continue to stay where it's at right now. Our crime rate is very low. That's why I give up to our chief and to our president city council. We thank God for them. Also, embodying a partnership with Max Welcome Center. We need to also make sure we talk to Maxwell Welcome Center to have a package for our kids and our family when they come in to our community, to let them know what Prattville has to offer in this community. So we need to strengthen that, continue to keep that gap strengthened. And one more thing, since we have the community college, I would love to see the community college an extension for an AI program or some kind of technology program. Also, start a JUCO football team, sports athletic department, sports, basketball, football, baseball, something to have our kids stay into the community. That would be a great start for our partnership.
Thank you. Question 3, with 88% of our chamber membership made up of small businesses, supporting entrepreneurship is a vital part of our local economy. What do you believe is the role of city government in fostering small business growth and entrepreneurship? And what specific initiatives would you champion to support these efforts?
The city government, as city council, I would like to get out and meet with our local businesses. It is very important that we keep that communication line open because our local and small businesses is very important in our community. It makes up a vast majority of our revenue. So we need to continue to keep them growth, give them opportunity, provide funds to help them grow, provide leadership skills to help anyone that is ready to be an entrepreneur. We got entrepreneurship. We need to learn mentoring so we can mentor our kids into entrepreneurship. Everybody's not designed for college. Everybody might not want to go to community college, but we train someone else up and let them put them into the labor force, into the workforce. And some people just want a regular job, just want to be a regular citizen. So we got to be able to train them up, have mentorship skills for them to be entrepreneurs and also workers in our community.
Thank you. That concludes our questions. You now have 1 minute for a closing statement.
As your city councilman, I promise to be vigilant in this community. I promise to do all I can to support this community. As District 2, I will be vigilant. I will go out. I will start a community committee where I will have an opportunity to meet with each person in our community once every 3 months so I can hear the needs of our community. Not what I want, but what the citizen needs in this community. Also, I would like to reach across the table to work with each and every counselor on the panel so we can work and make a better and greater Prattville. That's what it's about. We are the preferred community, and I believe with all my heart, together we are better, and together we will always be better. Separate, we're divided, but we come together as one. We can be a strong Prattville and keep Prattville great like it always been. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Thank you, Ms. Smith. You may now exit the stage.
Thank you.
That concludes our candidates from District 2. We will now hear from Prattville City Council candidates District 3, John Chambers and Jimmy Hyde III. Mr. Chambers will be making his way to the stage. Good evening, Mr. Chambers.
Good evening.
Ms. Chambers, we'll have 3 questions for you tonight. Each question, we will allow you 2 minutes to respond, and then you'll have 1 minute for a closing statement. Seated in the front, we have a timekeeper that will hold up 30 seconds on the yellow card, and the red card means that your time has run out. So let's get started. Question 1, for the past 30 years, economic and workforce development efforts have been housed within the Chamber, playing a critical role in supporting local business growth and talent development. As an elected official, how would you support and promote economic and workforce development in our city? And what specific strategies would you implement to ensure continued progress in these areas?
Okay, well, as far as economic development is concerned, I'm committed to building a vibrant economy, quality jobs for the residents, preparing the workforce for the future. And some of the ways you could do this, just through some smart investments, strong partnerships, which would include the chamber, obviously, and focus on some sustainable growth. Workforce development actually fuels small business growth, which obviously education feeds that workforce development. So those are some of the things that I would focus on, and why that is important as far as these other things that we do as far as achievements. It creates a stronger tax base, more thriving businesses, better jobs, and we're having a workforce that's better prepared for work.
Thank you. Thank you. Question 2. The Chamber maintains strong partnerships with the Autauga County Board of Education, Central Alabama Community College, and Maxwell Air Force Base. What do you believe the role and responsibilities of city government should be in supporting education and military affairs, and how would you work to strengthen these relationships?
As far as education, I must be remiss without saying that my mother was a teacher and a school counselor for over 35 years with the Autauga County Board of Education. I also went through the school system. My 2 girls also went through the school system, so I'm a very big supporter of the Autauga County Board of Education. There is work to be done when it comes to education. We've tried, the Board of Education tried to pass 2 ad valorem taxes that did not succeed. So I think partnerships with the Board of Education and the county, we need to come up with some plan to put together so that we can do what's best for the kids in the school system. One of the things that I supported and I tried to get started was the infrastructure transportation study. I know there's talk about potentially a high school going off an Old Ridge Road, and I think we need to look at that infrastructure study to determine, what's needed, just to basically come up with a good plan if that's what ends up being what we do. Obviously, city schools are still on the table as well, but I think we need to get everybody together and come up with the best plan moving forward in regards to education. Obviously, CAC is really important, and it's been a big blessing to our community. That was a great project where the county and the city came together and partnered. We were able to move that campus over to Old Ridge Road, create more jobs. We were able to create dual enrollment with the high school students, which creates college credits. So obviously, that's been a win for our community. As far as military support, obviously, I come from a military family to some degree. I do see the importance of the military. They actually bring us more jobs, housing, whether it's they're renting or they're buying. They spend money at our retail businesses, our local businesses. They're involved in our education. That helps. We also do some things.
Mr. Chambers, I'm sorry, your time has run out.
My apologies.
That's no problem. Thank you very much. Question 3. With 88% of our chamber membership made up of small businesses, supporting entrepreneurship is a vital part of our economy. What do you believe is the role of city government in fostering small business growth and entrepreneurship? And what specific initiatives would you champion to support these efforts?
Well, obviously, the small businesses are very vital to our local economy. The city works closely with the Chamber of Commerce to help in this effort. Some ways that we could help and support, obviously, funding and infrastructure enhancements. Take, for example, downtown. You've got a lot of enhancements downtown that's brought a lot of local stores and restaurants. Therefore, the Mill Project, a lot of foot traffic, for example, downtown. Obviously, I'm always trying to recruit. When I go somewhere, whether it's another town or whatever, I try to see if I can't draw interest to bring some business into town. Obviously, we also help and sponsor and participate in the City Fest, which is a big opportunity for local vendors. Creekside concerts, for example, also where we bring down people. And they have the downtown market plus the food trucks and things like that bring down some traffic, and beautification projects like the Parade of Pumpkins or the Christmas time, where that brings in a lot of extra traffic and a lot of extra business to those downtown businesses. And more jobs get created by the city economic development and that increases their local shopper when we do create more jobs, which is something that we try to do through economic development. And, you know, we have some businesses of note, you know, that I can tell you just recently, 243, the restaurants are a great place to go if you haven't gone. Drive South is another great establishment with the golf simulator. Uncle Mick's had an expansion, you know, that's been great. They have more functions over there, and Picker House is coming. Those things like that, we try to partner up and bring business and partner up with the Chamber of Commerce to make those things happen.
Thank you. That concludes our questions. You now have 1 minute for a closing statement.
All right, thank you, ma'am. So, good evening, friends and neighbors. I'm John Chambers, and it has been my honor to serve as your District 3 City Council representative. Over the past 4.5 years, I've worked to make sure our community's priorities are front and center, and I believe the next few years are critical for both our city and our district. At the heart of my vision for Prattville is education. When we invest in our children, we invest in our future. That means making sure our schools have the resources they need, that every education dollar is spent wisely and transparently, and that we're expanding workforce training so our students graduate ready for good jobs right here at home. Strong schools build strong generations, and that's what always will be a top priority for me. But for education to thrive, our infrastructure must keep pace, especially here in District 3. We need to ensure our roads are maintained and capable of handling growth, that our utilities are reliable, and that our city facilities meet the standards or the needs of our families and businesses. Growth is coming to our district, and if we plan smart, I've got to stop.
Mr. Chambers, I'm terribly sorry. Thank you so very much. You may now exit the stage.
Thank you.
Our next candidate on stage is Jimmy Hyde III. Mr. Hyde, if you'll make your way to the stage. Good evening, Mr. Hyde.
Good evening.
Mr. Hyde, we'll have 3 questions for you tonight.
Okay.
Each of those you'll have 2 minutes to respond, and then you'll have 1 minute for a closing statement. We have our timekeeper in the front. A yellow card means you have 30 seconds. The red card means that your time is out. So let's get started.
All right.
Question 1. For the past 30 years, economic and workforce development efforts have been housed within the Chamber, playing a critical role in supporting local business growth and talent development. As an elected official, how would you support and promote economic and workforce development in our city? And what specific strategies would you implement to ensure continued progress in these areas?
Well, I mean, I'll continue to support economic and workforce development. One, by continuing to make sure that we have an attracting city. We're located in a unique area where we're right off the interstate. And so with that being said, it's very unique and entertaining for new businesses to come to Prattville. So we'll make sure that all of our exits are clean and everything is always safe to entertain new businesses as we continue to grow. I think our interstate part, in the South Interstate part, we'll continue to make sure that we develop that area. That is a good area for businesses, manufacturing in particular, to come in and do business with the city of Prattville as we grow. One thing that I would love to make sure as we're growing economically is that we have the right infrastructure and fiber expansion in place to support new growth. And another thing, you know, as you think about workforce development, leveraging facilities. I think the Central Alabama Community College, they're building something new over there. So I would love to partner with that college to leverage their facilities as we see the demand in technology and all of these things grow to increase our workforce.
Thank you. Question 2. The Chamber maintains strong partnerships with the Autauga County Board of Education, Central Alabama Community College, and Maxwell Air Force Base. What do you believe the role and responsibility of city government should be in supporting education and military affairs, and how would you work to strengthen these relationships?
So, one thing I would love to do is work with the schools, especially, the high schools. I would love to see a program in our high schools for individual students that want to enter the military and be a pipeline with our Alabama Community College to have these kids go to that college or enroll in some of our dual enrollment courses to prepare them to go into the military. I think that'll be a big thing for us. And so as you see technology increasing, as you see the need for these professions, I think I'll be a big supporter in our community college and in our high school. And also really beef up the program in our high school when it comes to the Alabama Purple Star program with incoming military families. Make sure we have units of teachers that can counsel these students and prepare them as they move in and exit out of our community.
Thank you. Question 3. With 88% of our chamber membership made up of small business, supporting entrepreneurship is a vital part of our local economy. What do you believe is the role of city government in fostering small business growth and entrepreneurship? And what specific initiatives would you champion to support these efforts?
I think our small businesses definitely is the backbone of our community. They are the backbone of our community, especially our local small businesses. I say especially our local small businesses. And I would love to sponsor an incentive to support our small businesses, to see them hire new employees, train new employees, and continue to impact our local community. And so I will be a big advocate of supporting small business with some sort of incentive to help with them hiring and training new employees. Also partnering with our Chambers. Chambers does a great job right now when it comes to small businesses, but we need more funding for our local small businesses to get more help and to hire more employees. And I think we can do that through the city with some sort of incentive, especially in our downtown district if they want to maintain a place of business there.
Thank you, Mr. Hyde. That concludes our 3 questions. You now have 1 minute for a closing statement.
Well, I am glad to be a neighbor of Prattville, or a home of Prattville, and I look to being your next council in District 3, and I will work for the people, with our business owners, support our school, and do whatever it takes to make Prattville better. We are one Prattville.
Thank you, Mr. Hyde. You may now exit the stage. That concludes our candidates for Council District 3. We will now hear from Prattville City Council candidates District 4, Tommy Merrick and Antonio Richards. Mr. Merrick is now making his way to the stage. Good evening, Mr. Merrick.
Good evening. Good evening, everybody.
We will have 3 questions for you tonight. Each one of those, you will be allowed 2 minutes to respond, and then you'll have a closing statement of 1 minute. In the front here, Mr. Merrick, is our timekeeper. The yellow card means you have 30 seconds left. The red card means that you're out of time. So let's get started. Question 1, for the past 30 years, economic and workforce development efforts have been housed within the Chamber, playing a critical role in supporting local business growth and talent development. As an elected official, how would you support and promote economic and workforce development in our city? And what specific strategies would you implement to ensure continued progress in these areas?
Okay. I do appreciate that we have a wonderful economic development leader in Amy Hilliard. And I do recall prior to coming on the council that the chamber did handle a lot of economic development. I do support the chamber. I support our community. In regards to economic development, since I've been on board, we've had a growth of business, particularly James Hardy, the Public Safety Training Center. We've opened up some restaurants, particularly Texas Roadhouse, First Watch, Dutch Brothers, Scooters, coffee shops. And I think because of all that, it's been a blessing for our community. Now, to answer the other part there, as a council, we vote, but we have other committees. We have planning committees, we have a Parks and Rec committee. And a lot of folks think that we make the final decision, that we're the ones that pick who's coming or what do we do, is this gonna be right? With the planning committees, the Parks and Rec, they decide what's best. It's brought to us 7, and it's a wonderful team. And we just, at that point, vote. And what we've done, I'm very proud to say, is wonderful in our community. And I want us to continue that growth. And I want us to try to continue to work with the chamber, because the chamber is a major part in regards to the business, in regards to, did I go over my time? I'm sorry. In regards to business and our community. And I think the way that we work together has also helped tourism. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Merrick. Question 2. The Chamber maintains strong relationships with the Autauga County Board of Education, Central Alabama Community College, and Maxwell Air Force Base. What do you believe the role and responsibilities of city government should be in supporting education and military affairs, and how would you work to strengthen these relationships?
I want to go back to the Chamber of Commerce on this one. I think it's an asset that we have military. My father served in the Air Force. We came to Prattville in 1971. He was stationed out of Gunner. While here, my father was involved with city football coaching, city baseball. I got my education, went through first through high school. Back then, it was pretty much football and band and a couple other sports. I love the fact that we have 18 sports in our high school right now. It's amazing. But we also have other arts. In particular, one I'm very fond of is show choir. If you've ever had an opportunity to see these young men and ladies perform, it's breathtaking. In regards to military, I'm so proud that the chamber and the school system works with the military. We have, if you ever check on the site, they have tabs, the Alabama Department of Human Resources, Military Spouse Employment Partnerships, Military Child Education Coalition. My father loved Alabama, Prattville, and there's a lot of folks that once their careers are done, whether they finish and retire here or they've left, they come back. Why? Because this is a preferred community. We have what, some have opened businesses, some have worked, become educators here, and it's just, we have other things, like we have the VFW, we have the American Legion. We're blessed to have both of those here in our own town. I'm a proud member of the auxiliary. I'm a lifetime auxiliary member for the VFW. And we just did a school drive for the kids of military. Thank you.
Mr. Merrick, question 3. With 88% of our chamber membership made up of small businesses, supporting entrepreneurship is a vital part of our local economy. What do you believe is the role of city government in fostering small business growth and entrepreneurship, and what specific initiatives would you champion to support these efforts?
Small businesses are the lifeblood of local economics, fueling growth, innovation, and job creation. I love that we have here in our community I'm a member of Drive South. I love 243. We've just had a new candle place that's just opened here, Scent Wizards. Uncle Mick's has just expanded. Small businesses do play a pivotal role in preserving our local culture and heritage, whether it's a family-owned restaurant serving generations of old recipes or a neighborhood photography art gallery showcasing local talent. These places, I've noticed, I'm a member of the Lions Club, and a few of my fellow Lions called me from Chris's Barbecue because that's where they eat breakfast, and that's where they socialize, retirees, and talk about, the growth of Prattville, for example. And I love that here. We are nurturing and bonding. We have a shared sense of identity. In a digitized world where Xboxes, social media take over our lives, small business offers reminders of the human connections. Small businesses are deeply engaged in community activities. I love city baseball. I love all our young ladies softball tournaments that we have. It brings tourism. It brings just what I want to go back real quick, and I got from the timer. Sponsorships. Our small towns sponsor our leagues. You see them on the fences. When I played baseball back in the day, we had patches. I played for the Prattville JC's Braves. I've seen Dunn's Florist. I love Prattville. This is my town.
Mr. Merrick, I'm terribly sorry,
Oh,
but
okay.
that concludes.
I'm sorry.
No, I apologize.
No. I've got just a little bit of emotion, and thank you.
Thank you so much. Mr. Merrick, you now have 1 minute for a closing statement.
I thought about this, and every time I come up with a closing statement, it's changed. I miss my father. I love my mom. I love this community. And I see dear friends out here tonight, and friends that I see at our council meetings, and I can't thank you enough for being there. I know we don't always agree on a lot of things, but everything that we do is for the best of the community. You might not think it's right at that time, but at the end, the big picture, you see what the progress is. We are doing a fantastic job. I love you guys for being here. I love Prattville, Alabama, and I look forward to serving you as your city councilman for the next 4 years. Thank you very much for your time, and thank you for being here, and God bless our city of Prattville, and our first responders and our police department. Can't thank them enough, too.
Thank you, Mr. Merrick. You now may exit the stage. Our next candidate is Antonio Richards, and Mr. Richards is making his way to the stage. Good evening, Mr. Richards.
Good evening.
Mr. Richards, we'll have 3 questions for you tonight, and we'll give you the opportunity to respond to each of those, 2 minutes each.
Yes, ma'am.
Then you'll also have 1 minute for a closing statement. Our timekeeper is in the front. When he holds up the yellow, you have 30 seconds, and then the red means that you've run out of time.
Yes, ma'am.
So let's get started.
Yes, ma'am.
Question 1. For the past 30 years, economic and workforce development efforts have been housed within the Chamber, playing a critical role in supporting local business growth and talent development. As an elected official, how would you support and promote economic and workforce development in our city? And what specific strategies would you implement to ensure continued progress in these areas?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. A strong community is built on two things: opportunity and preparation. Economic development is not just about attracting new businesses. It's about creating the right environment where people, jobs, and innovations can thrive. And that means investing in our workforce as much as we can invest in our roads, our buildings, and infrastructures. We need an economy that works for everyone, not just a few. That starts with creating a good paying jobs right here at home, supporting our small businesses and attracting industries that matches our strengths. But opportunity alone isn't enough. We must make sure our peoples are ready to step up to those opportunities on day one.
Thank you. Question 2. The Chamber maintains strong partnerships with the Autauga County Board of Education, Central Alabama Community College, and Maxwell Air Force Base. What do you believe the role and responsibilities of city government should be in supporting education and military affairs, and how would you work to strengthen these relationships?
When we talk about building a strong community, the conversation always comes back to one thing: education. And for me, I agree with the Board of Education: engage, equip, and excel. We must equip our classrooms with resources, technology, and supports they need. We must equip our teachers with fair-paying jobs, professional growth, and respect for the vital work that they do. And we must equip our students with the skills and confidence to face a rapid changing world, whether that means college, a career, or starting their own business. When we engage our community, equip our schools, and help every child excel, we don't just build a better education, we build a better future for the city of Prattville.
Thank you. Question 3. With 88% of our chamber membership made up of small businesses, supporting entrepreneurship is a vital part of our local economy. What do you believe is the role of city government in fostering small business growth and entrepreneurship? And what specific initiatives would you champion to support these efforts?
They create jobs. They keep our dollars local. They give our neighborhoods character and pride. Our small businesses succeed, our entire community thrives. But too often, small businesses owners face unnecessary hurdles, high costs, complex regulations, and limited access to capital. They work long hours, take big risks, and they carry weight on both of their dreams and their employees' livelihoods. We must create an environment where the entrepreneurial spirits can flourish, and someone with a good idea and a strong work ethic can turn the dreams into reality without being buried in debt.
Thank you, Mr. Richards. That concludes our questions. You now have 1 minute for a closing statement.
Only thing I have left to say is shop Prattville, the preferred community. Shop Prattville. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Richards. That concludes our candidates for City Council District 4. We will now hear from Prattville City Council candidates District 6, Jackie Nix and Robert Strichick, and Mrs. Nix will make her way to the stage. Good evening, Ms. Nix.
Good evening.
Tonight you will have 3 questions. Each one of those we would like for you to respond with a 2-minute response for each. And then at the end you'll have a closing statement of 1 minute. Our timekeeper is in the front. The yellow card is 30 seconds, and then the red card means that you've run out of time.
Okay.
So let's get started. Question 1. For the past 30 years, economic and workforce development efforts have been housed within the Chamber of Commerce, playing a critical role in supporting local business growth and talent development. As an elected official, how would you support and promote economic and workforce development in our city? And what specific strategies would you implement to ensure continued progress in these areas?
Okay. First of all, with economic development, I feel it's going to fall back on our schools, because we need to have excellent schools to be able to be, let me think of the word I want. We need excellent schools not only to develop a workforce so that we are graduating students who are ready and able to go into the workforce and with the industries that we are attracting to the city. But then also, we need to have a strong education system so that when we do attract these industries, that when they are bringing their families and they are attracting candidates from different areas, that those folks want to come and live in our community. When we don't have the strong education system, then what we're seeing are that we're losing these families going to other places. So maybe even if the workforce, the employer is in Prattville, we may lose them to Millbrook. We may lose them to other areas, to Wetumpka. So primarily, that is going to be the way that we can work together. Everything goes back to our education system. When I moved here 25 years ago, that is why I came to this community, is because the strength of the school system. Moreover, that we're going to, we need to emphasize bringing in industry and employers that are going to give careers, not jobs. We need to get away from these employers that are only having part-time work, no benefits, coffee houses, chicken places, gas stations, so on and so forth.
Thank you. Question 2. The Chamber maintains strong partnerships with the Watauga County Board of Education, Central Alabama Community College, and Maxwell Air Force Base. What do you believe the role and responsibilities of city government should be in supporting education and military affairs, and how would you work to strengthen these relationships?
Okay, it is no secret that the reputation of education has faltered in years. As I said, that I moved here 25 years ago, and Prattville's had the best school system in the area. Frankly, I don't care that it's a county school system. This is a Prattville problem. This is a city problem because our students are going into this school system. I see the city coming up with funding to work in conjunction with the school system, with CAC. Property and sales tax are not enough. We need to get smart people in the same room and get creative. On honestly, as I've been knocking on doors, I've been told many times, talking about schools, this is the way it is. This is the way it's always been. You are not going to be able to change it. But with that attitude, probably not. I'm a single mom. I'm to a neurodivergent son, a domestic abuse survivor. I was the first college graduate in my family, and I'm a small business owner. If I ever paid attention to everyone who told me I couldn't do something and it can't be done, I would not be before you right now.
Thank you. With 88% of our chamber membership made up of small businesses, supporting entrepreneurship is a vital part of our local economy. What do you believe is the role of city government in fostering small business growth and entrepreneurship? And what specific initiatives would you champion to support these efforts?
So as a small business owner myself, this is near and dear to my heart. First of all, I think that we need to partner with Chamber of Commerce, with local banks and other organizations to promote small business and give financial incentives. For instance, with the latest economic development project, bringing Rural King in here, we're giving tax incentives to a big box store and we're displacing our local small businesses. That doesn't make sense to me. We need to be able to put our local small businesses on an equal playing field so that they can compete and thrive in addition to having these larger employers in the region. But going back to education, I think PHS and CAC should offer entrepreneurship programs to spark our next generation of inventors and small business owners. And when I'm talking about economic incentives, I don't think that the city should fund it all 100%. I think that we need to work in partnership and we need to get creative. Standing before you right now, I don't know what I don't know. I'd have to get into office and be able to see what's available and get smart people in the room together, because I don't see that I need to have all the answers. What I need to do is to form coalitions and committees to get smart people together to have answers to these questions.
Thank you. That concludes our questions. You now have 1 minute for a closing statement.
Thank you. We don't live in the same Prattville as 20 years ago or even 10 years ago. Prattville isn't a small town anymore. We need to stop the small town mindset in our government. Our people deserve an accessible and transparent government. You shouldn't have to go down to the local meet and three to find out about sidewalks or about the Rural King situation. People should be able to hear directly from the city council in open meetings and through official city communications. Just transparency. And I've been told, why bother go against the good old boy politicians? Because even though change is slow, it is inevitable. I'm here to show you that it can be done. We can be transparent with our citizens and take care of business. You have the opportunity to change in this election. Will you take it? Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nix. You may now exit the stage. Our next candidate on stage will be Robert Strichik. Mr. Strichik will be making his way to the stage. Good evening, Mr. Strichik.
I feel like I'm a contestant on The Price is Right, and it has brought me down the center aisle.
Good evening, Mr. Strichik. Ms. Strichick, you'll have 3 questions with a 2-minute response for each, and then a 1-minute closing statement. We have a timekeeper in the front, 30 seconds with the yellow card, and when you've run out of time, you'll get the red card. So let's get started. Question 1. For the past 30 years, economic and workforce development efforts have been housed within the Chamber, playing a critical role in supporting local business growth and talent development. As an elected official, how would you support and promote economic and workforce development in our city? And what specific strategies would you implement to ensure continued progress in these areas?
Well, first of all, we've brought in so much with economic development over the last 9 years. Alabama Department of Health, we just now recently brought in the Guardian Credit Union's headquarters is going to be here. So, economic development is huge, and we have a very strong economic development person who we brought over from the Chamber, and she's back in Prattville. We actually stole her from Auburn, so that's a win-win for Prattville, Alabama. As far as economic development, it starts with education, it starts with training, it starts with grant writing. There's so many things out there that we still don't do that we're still just now scratching the surface on to bring in economic development. We have a lot on our plate right now. We brought in a lot of companies, James Hardy, Alabama Department of Health, and others. Big things are on the way. We have a huge announcement coming up very soon. I'm proud of the work we've done with our economic development. And the way to train, we can Technology Center up at the high school, they do some training. I know that there's ways that our children in the high school are now learning about economic development that they haven't in the past. Prattville is a thriving city. Autauga County's thriving. We're growing more and more every day as far as people wanting to come to our great city. And I'm proud to be a part of that for the last 9 years.
Thank you. The Chamber maintains strong partnerships with the Autauga County Board of Education, Central Alabama Community College, and Maxwell Air Force Base. What do you believe the role and responsibilities of city government should be in supporting education and military affairs, and how would you work to strengthen these relationships?
Well, I believe it's crucial for military affairs, education, but it takes a village. And as far as military and Central Alabama Community College, we're looking at ways right now to do a training center for the United States Air Force, the college, through the school system as well. If that happens, it's going to be a game changer. It'll be the only thing like this in the state of Alabama if we can bring that to fruition. But it's going to take a village. It's going to take the city figuring out ways to fund, the county commission, the Autauga County Board of Education. These are conversations I have a lot in my home. Some of you may or may not know, my wife, till recently, just spent 3 years on the Autauga County School Board. So she and I have had a lot of these conversations, ideas, and ways to make our school successful. Maxwell Air Force Base is so crucial to this community. I'm a product of it. I was born at Maxwell Air Force Base not that long ago. But, I grew up in a neighborhood in Camellia Estates where we had 9 houses within 12, where everybody grew up together were in the Air Force. And all of our fathers, with the kids I grew up with, they were in Vietnam together. So I know all about how important the Air Force is to this community, but it starts with education. Military families want to know about how well education is. Our test scores are remarkable with the low funding that our county school systems have. It's one of the highest graded scores in the state of Alabama and one of the lowest funded school systems, which says so many good things about how talented our educators are. So I'm a proud husband of an educator. I'm a proud father of a daughter who's an educator and an Air Force brat. I don't know if you can still say brat, if that's acceptable, but I am. But they all run together and very important to this community.
Thank you. With 88% of our chamber membership made up of small businesses, supporting entrepreneurship is a vital part of our local economy. What do you believe is the role of city government in fostering small business growth and entrepreneurship? And what specific initiatives would you champion to support these efforts?
What I would champion to support these efforts is training and grants. There's starter grants for small businesses to begin. There's incubators. We need an incubator. We have buildings, as we know, that can help a small business get that leg underneath them, start their business for a year, 2 years, however long the parameters are set, so they can be a successful business down the road. So we bring in new business with the incubator. We find grants for our new businesses or existing small businesses, because small businesses are the lifeblood of any community, whatever size that it may be. So when you go to your football games at night or your Little League games and you look in those out in the outfield, those signs on the wall and those signs in those programs, those are your small business who support that. So it's crucial. It's crucial to all of us. And we have to find better ways to help them through grants, through incubators, and training. And I think we do well with some of our educators and our technology. So I think we're getting better and better. We still have a lot of vacant buildings that we're trying to fill all over the city. That would be something a small business could be successful in. And I'm just a firm believer that, I still to this day, if I can go down to, my wife's looking at me funny, I'll go to a Targa Home Supply and buy a wrench before I'll go to Lowe's or Walmart, because small business is so important. My brother's owned a small business his entire life. He has never even worked for a person. So I understand small businesses are how important they are. We need to find better ways to help them. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Strichik. That concludes our questions. You now have 1 minute for a closing statement.
Well, I've been on the council for 9 years, and it's been an honor. It's been the honor of my life to serve this community and the people in my district. I've answered every phone call, email, and voicemail within 24 hours. Now, I don't always get you the answer that you want, but I'll continue to do that. I'm proud of the parks, of the economic development we have brought into this great city, the way it's moving, the infrastructure with the wastewater development plant. I mean, there's so many things we've accomplished, and there's so much more that we're going to accomplish down the road. But at the end of the day, I'm going to wake up Wednesday morning after this election, and I'm still going to have a beautiful, talented wife. I'm going to have 3 remarkable children. I'm going to have family and friends that love me regardless of what happens. And I'm going to have the God above is still going to love me, and I'm still going to be one of his children, and he's got a plan for me. So it is what it is, but that Wednesday morning after the election, if I'm still here to serve for 9 more years, I promise you I'll do it with honesty, integrity, and passion like I always have. And I thank each and every one of you for your time. God bless you all.
Thank you, Ms. Strichik. That concludes hearing from our Prattville City Council district candidates. We'll now move on to Prattville City Council candidates for District 7, Laura Lee Boone and Thea Langley. And Mrs. Boone will make it to the stage at this time. Good evening, Ms. Boone.
Good evening, Ms. Miller.
We have 3 questions for you tonight, and you will have the opportunity to respond to each of them 2 minutes each. And then at concluding the questions, we will allow you an opportunity with a closing statement for 1 minute. We have a timekeeper in the front who will hold up when you have 30 seconds with the yellow card, when you've run out of time, the red card. So let's get started. Question 1. For the past 30 years, economic and workforce development efforts have been housed within the Chamber, playing a critical role in supporting local business growth and talent development. As an elected official, how would you support and promote economic and workforce development in our city? And what specific strategies would you implement to ensure continued progress in these areas?
Well, economic development is one of the most important things we do. It is really the foundation of the economy of our city, and what we do as a council really is to deal with the fiscal sense of what is happening in Prattville. So dealing with economic development really involves 3 basic strategies. It involves retaining the business we have. It involves recruiting new businesses here to town to bring in a better tax base. And it involves renewal of what we already have. So my strategies would all center around those basic 3 tenets of what we have for economic development and focusing on those. I think we have to have a balance when it comes to economic development. Our balance involves some industry And our balance involves some business with retail, restaurant. So we have to have a similar balance here between the two, because just having one or just having the other, we don't want to have a concentration on that. We want to do both. So part of my strategy would also be to recruit with balance and to retain with balance, so that Prattville has both elements happening in economic development. I think that it's great that we have multiple contacts to talk with our recruitment. Businesses that are interested in coming in, they can talk directly with the voting body. We do have an economic developer who is a specialist in this, who advises us. But I think partnerships is absolutely key when it comes to economic development. So another strategy that I would implement would be working with other entities, such as the county, working with other entities such as the chamber, working with the business directly, and working as a team here at the city. So I think that all of those are important focuses of economic development.
Thank you, ma'am. Question 2. The Chamber maintains strong relationships with the Autauga County Board of Education, Central Alabama Community College, and Maxwell Air Force Base. What do you believe the role and responsibilities of city government should be in supporting education and military affairs, and how would you work to strengthen these relationships?
I think that the role is vital. If we do not have education, we don't have a budget. We have businesses that come here, we have businesses that stay here based on education. So I think partnerships, again, is going to be a key word, and supporting education, and there's going to be a lot of ways to do that. I think that we also have to look at education outside of the box. We can't just look at K-12. K-12 is so crucial, yes, but education encompasses very much more. So as a city, when we look at education, and we're not the board, we're looking at some other ideas. We're looking at things such as CAC. We are looking at things such as pre-K. We're looking at a library. All of these are opportunities for education that are outside the traditional box. So yes, we need to partner with our Board of Education and our K-12, but in addition, we need to strategize about what is education to people in this crowd. To you, it is your K-12 student, but it is also your continuing aspect of opportunity for education, whether it's through trade schools such as CAC, or whether it is through the library where you are continuing your education. So I believe that that is very important, that we have that. I have a personal connection to education. So when we talk about this, it is my heart. I've been a teacher for many years. I've been a substitute in Autauga County schools here. I have worked with your students, everything from the APT president all the way up to substituting for high school classes. And so I have a real knowledge of what's going on in the K-12 program, but I think that we need to balance, and we need to look outside K-12 and inside K-12 when we talk about strategizing. Real quickly, I'd like to touch on military affairs. Maxwell is crucial. We've got to keep them. The number one way to do that is a good education system, because people in the military come here for our school systems. Also, they come here for relationships and for safety. Public safety is another way that we will attract and keep Maxwell and military bases here, is by providing a safe place for them to live.
Thank
yes,
you.
ma'am.
With 88% of our chamber membership made up of small businesses, supporting entrepreneurship is a vital part of our local economy. What do you believe is the role of city government in fostering small business growth and entrepreneurship? And what specific initiatives would you champion to support these efforts?
Small business is crucial. I mentioned balance, and one of the things we have to balance with is our small business owners. My husband and I own a small business in this town. My father owned a small business in this town. I know a lot about the inside and the outside of what goes on in a small business. So what is the role of the city? The city is to support those. Once again, when I go back to my tenants, this goes back to economic development with our retention. We've got to retain those small businesses. How do we do that? Grassroots effort. We've got to come along beside them and help them with their advertisement, help them to understand what is their product and who is their audience. That's a great way for the city to really back small businesses. We can do that. As an individual, I can do that. I can give you a couple of examples of how the city has done it in the past. Think of the small business Pizzazz. Maybe you're familiar with the small art business Pizzazz that is located downtown. They were affected by the fire at Uncle Mick's, and I know you will all remember when we had a fire at Uncle Mick's, and Pizzazz was not able to have their art classes for a while. How did the city come alongside? The city reacted. We've got to be responsive to small business when they have a problem. What did we do? We reacted, we responded, and we provided an outlet for them to move into a business that the city owned, a building that the city had property. We rented it to them, and they were able to continue to have their business, to maintain their small business. That was a way that the city can respond and react when it has to small business. We can support them by coming alongside in reaction, in response, and also with helping with their advertisement.
Thank you. That concludes our questions. You now have 1 minute for a closing statement.
I look forward to realizing my goals, which are filling our savings fund here in the city, to implement infrastructure improvements while we still maintain planned growth. I want us to further economic development, which makes Prattville a better place to live, to work, and to play. And I want to support education for the best future for our youth. But this position demands strong personal character. As a public representation of this city, understanding the budgeting process, and understanding what are those available sources for the budget. The ability to build and to maintain relationships, both as a group of 7 and with other entities and partnerships in our community. And a listening and a responsive representation to the people of District 7 and to Prattville as a whole. I stand on my record tonight. I have displayed these qualities in the past. I have displayed them in action, and I ask you to come around and to support us to vote.
Ms. Boone, I'm terribly sorry.
On the 26th.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our next candidate on the stage is Thea Langley. Ms. Langley is making her way to the stage right now. Good evening, Ms. Langley.
Hello there.
We will have 3 questions for you tonight. Each of those, we will allow you an opportunity to respond to those, 2 minutes each on those, and then we'll have 1 minute for you to respond with a closing statement. We have a timekeeper in the front. The yellow card is 30 seconds left. The red card is for time is up.
Okay.
So let's get started.
Okay.
Our first question. For the past 30 years, economic and workforce development efforts have been housed within the Chamber of Commerce, playing a critical role in supporting local business growth and talent development. As an elected official, how would you support and promote economic and workforce development in our city? And what specific strategies would you implement to ensure continued progress in these areas?
Well, first of all, I would like to see economic development brought back to the chamber. I am a huge proponent for county and city collaboration. I think that anything that is beneficial to the county is also going to be beneficial to the city, especially in terms of economic development. Now, economic development is important, but not on the backs of our everyday citizens. And I don't think that we should sell our soul for economic development. We want to bring good paying, high paying jobs, manufacturing jobs, jobs that are careers into our community. I think Amy has done a great job in what she is doing, and I commend her for that. But I think that we need to kind of slow down some. I know that part of the $5.7 million that we just paid out was because we tried to do something in haste. We made a decision to move forward despite our planning commission. This was an economic development project, and despite our planning commission making the recommendation that we do not move forward with this project. Despite the specialist on our planning commission, our city council made the decision to vote to move forward on that project, and it ended up costing the citizens of Prattville $5.7 million because we were involved in a lawsuit. We settled that lawsuit probably 6 months ago. You can find all of this on a quick Google. I Googled it today. I knew about it, but I wanted to double check my facts and my dates. $5.7 million could go a long way with our education, with our infrastructure, and that is something that we need to be very careful of is
Ms.
staying
Langley.
within the law.
Ms. Langley, I'm terribly sorry,
No,
but your
you're
time
good.
is up. Thank
You're
you.
good.
Question 2. The Chamber maintains strong partnerships with the Watauga County Board of Education, Central Alabama Community College, and Maxwell Air Force Base. What do you believe is the role and responsibilities of the city government, what those should be in supporting education and military affairs, and how would you work to strengthen these relationships?
If you know me, if you have heard me speak at all over the last 6 weeks, education, education, education. We all benefit from education. I am not one who is, I don't have a problem with helping my neighbor. The people who live outside of the city of Prattville, but in Watauga County, spend their money, that's where the penny tax comes from, is sales tax. When the penny tax was enacted in 2001, not 21, after we paid off High Point, the penny tax had 3 buckets originally. Those 3 buckets, one major bucket was education, another was infrastructure, and the third bucket was, what was the third bucket? My mind went blank, I apologize. But the most important bucket at this point of our conversation is the education bucket. The education bucket is, we get, our county schools get 7.8% of that 25% bucket. As the city of Prattville, these are our neighbors. These children, 60% of the children in the city of Prattville attend public schools. We have an obligation. We continue to build and build and build in East Prattville, but yet there is no plan. There's no collaboration. There's no true partnership. Out of that bucket of the education fund, our schools get 8.4%, which is roughly $800,000 a year. And he says, stop.
Thank you, Ms. Langley. Question 3. With 88% of our chamber membership made up of small businesses, supporting entrepreneurship is a vital part of our local economy. What do you believe is the role of city government in fostering small business growth and entrepreneurship? And what specific initiatives would you champion to support these efforts?
I love this. I mean, I am a small business owner. My husband is a small business owner. Prattville was created on the backs of small business owners. Economic development, part of that is bringing in these big box stores. I think we have enough of those. I do. I think we need manufacturing. I think we need life-changing workforce jobs brought into our community. However, we cannot neglect our small businesses. We don't even, so if I'm elected city council, if I'm elected city council, one of the things that I want to implement is an ordinance that we buy local first. We buy local before we go anywhere else. If that bid is under 3%, in terms of the overage of anybody else in the river region, we buy local first. We do not buy all of our sports uniforms for the city of Prattville teams. We don't buy those in the city of Prattville. We don't have our police cars wrapped with our logo in the city of Prattville. We have to support our own. I remember at the election last year, whenever they took photos, the formal photos of the council, I couldn't believe it because I looked they put it on the Facebook, and on Facebook it was a Montgomery photographer that was taking photos. The official photos of our city council members was a Montgomery photographer. Nick Frontero was right down the road. We have got to shop our small businesses. We have got to support them, and how can we expect everyday citizens to do that if we as local government don't do that first?
Thank you, Ms. Langley. Now you have 1 minute for a closing statement.
Okay, so this is a lot, y'all. In 2 minutes, you can't possibly share all of your ideas, your opinions. You only get a very small snippet of who every one of these candidates are. I am having I don't know if you want to call it a meet and greet, but a candidate forum, so to speak, where my district, or anybody, it doesn't matter, but my district comes on Tuesday night to Uncle Mick's at 6 o'clock. Just come and sit down, get you some good Cajun food, and let's sit down and talk. That is something that I would really appreciate and enjoy, is you guys all doing your homework. Transparency is very, very important to me. I do not feel that we have an obligation as city council members. We have an obligation to get our information to you. I saw on Facebook this week, a guy that I know posted to a councilman's Facebook page, "What do you think about town halls?" And he was like, "Oh, I support that." Well, y'all, it's not your responsibility to come and get the information. It's ours to get it to you.
Thank you, Ms. Langley.
Thank you.
That concludes our questions for our city council candidates. We will now move on to the mayoral candidates. Our candidates are Reuben Gardner, Bill Gillespie Jr., David Melling, Devin Moore, and Dennis Mullins. And again, they will go in alphabetical order. Mr. Moore is unable to attend this evening. So we will start with Mr. Gardner, who will be making his way to the stage. Good evening, Mr. Gardner.
Good evening.
Mr. Gardner, we have 3 questions for you tonight, and we'd like for you to respond to those, 2 minutes each. 2 minutes each, and then you will also have an opportunity for a closing statement with 1 minute. We have a timekeeper in the front. Yellow card means you have 30 seconds. Red card means that you've run out of time. So let's get started. Question 1. For the past 30 years, economic and workforce development efforts have been housed within the Chamber of Commerce, playing a critical role in supporting local business growth and talent development. As an elected official, how would you support and promote economic and workforce development in our city? And what specific strategies would you implement to ensure continued progress in this area?
Well, you speak of the 30 years. I was a part of that then because I was a part of the strategic plan for the economic development. And what we would do is that we would get everyone involved as to what's going on with the city of Prattville, especially all the citizens. We would get most all the businesses involved, and we would create wealth within the city of Prattville. And that's one of the main sources, is to get everyone involved and get industry involved in here to build wealth within the city.
Thank you. Question 2. The Chamber maintains strong partnerships with the Autauga County Board of Education, Central Alabama Community College, as well as Maxwell Air Force Base. What do you believe the role and responsibilities of city government should be in supporting education and military affairs, and how would you work to strengthen these relationships?
Well, I would make contact with the veterans. I would make contact with the Board of Education, and make contact with the school system, with the superintendent, and see what is the need and the desire for as well as the library, because a lot of what we do is go through the library. So I would get involved with them and make contact with them and see what we need and see what we not need and get everything we need and some of what we want. And I think some of the things that are missing is lack of contact and communication. I would make certain that we would have communication on all means, by all means.
Thank you. With 88% of our chamber membership made up of small businesses, supporting entrepreneurship is a vital part of our local economy. What do you believe is the role of city government in fostering small business growth and entrepreneurship? And what specific initiatives would you champion to support these efforts?
The old saying is that to support small businesses, you take care of home. And whenever you take care of home, it'll take care of itself. And with the small business, I make definitely that they will be contacted by all means necessary, so we would take care of the small businesses, get them involved, so we can take care of the city. That would be the major plus for economic development for the city of Prattville.
Thank you, Mr. Gardner. You now have 1 minute for a closing statement.
Our closing statement is, for the seat of the mayor, is to represent the city, not to lead the citizens of the city. And when we come together as a mayor, then we're going to make sure that everyone is involved, not just a few. That's all inclusive. And we won't take anything for granted. If you got a problem, introduce it to the mayor's seat, and let's go out and make it work for the benefit of all instead of just a few. We would use everything we have as a plus for the city of Prattville.
Thank you, Mr. Gardner. You may now exit the stage.
Thank you.
Our next candidate on stage will be Bill Gillespie, Jr.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor Gillespie.
Evening.
Mayor, we have 3 questions for you tonight, 2 minutes on each of those questions for your response. And then as we conclude the questions, you will have 1 minute for a closing statement. In the front is our timekeeper. 30 seconds will be the yellow card. The red card is mean that you run out of time. So let's get started.
Yes, ma'am.
Our first question. For the past 30 years, economic and workforce development efforts have been housed within the Chamber of Commerce, playing a critical role in supporting local business growth and talent development. As an elected official, how would you support and promote economic and workforce development in our city? And what specific strategies would you implement to ensure continued progress in these areas?
Okay, thank you. It's a very good question, very important to our community. One of the first things that really takes a community to come together and also be able to provide the services in the economic development workforce is actually education. The foundation for education for every community, for any community that's striving, is education. But it also takes infrastructure as well. It takes the houses, the rooftops as they come in. It takes the business owners for them to be able to provide the services. It takes the community, the city itself, to provide the infrastructure, whether it's the sanitary, the wastewater, the streets, the roads, the bridges. So it's all a combination. It really takes a community effort to bring the hub and the spoke and the wheel all together to be able to bring economic development to a community and for that community to strive.
Thank you. Question 2. The Chamber maintains strong partnerships with the Autauga County Board of Education, Central Alabama Community College, as well as Maxwell Air Force Base. What do you believe the role and responsibilities of city government should be in supporting education and military affairs, and how would you work to strengthen these relationships?
Okay. It is very, very important. Another very good question there. The connection really to all of the pillars that have been brought before us tonight is connected individually and collectively as well. Some of that is with education, but the partnerships are so important as well. I've attended many a meeting over at Maxwell with the generals that have been over there. It's very important to have that relationship with them. It's very important to have the relationship with the CAC and the superintendent as well, because those relationships is actually how you form the committees and form the communities for everything to work together. The importance of Maxwell cannot be understated for especially Prattville and the small businesses that are in there. I know I've seen many a military person that has been from stationed over at Maxwell to come in our family business and seen them be in other businesses as well as eateries. And when I have gone over there and spoken with them, they all know about some of our downtown businesses like Uncle Mick's. That's a big favorite of theirs. But they're also very concerned about the education. But I think that the education connection with CAC and our Talbot County public school system is very, very important, because they do make that full connection. But we also have to have the other services, the other amenities that they're looking for as well. So it is, again, an all-encompassing project.
Thank you. With 88% of our chamber membership made up of small businesses, supporting entrepreneurship is a vital part of our local economy. What do you believe is the role of city government in fostering small business growth and entrepreneurship? And what specific initiatives would you champion to support these efforts?
Well, one of the roles of, another very good question. I'll have to, whoever picked out the questions have done an excellent job there, because it's very important to our community. The roles there with a community, with the municipality, is to help provide an environment for private enterprise to flourish. With that, though, you really have to have, we start off with our families and our churches. It's that hometown feeling that brings so many folks to Prattville and actually helps start, ignite the businesses as they come in. When you have that, the houses and the businesses come in, that is where the community, the municipality, has to provide that infrastructure, whether it's the drinking water, the wastewater, and the public safety. And very proud of what we have done here with our public safety, because maybe not a lot of folks here know it, but our fire department, for one, it has one of the highest ratings in the state, ISO 1, which is very important for economic development, because you have a lot of businesses that want to come in, but they're going to look at all the different amenities that we have, all the infrastructure. So it's not just a one silver bullet for everything, for anything. It's going to be all-encompassing, whether it's with the education, with the businesses, because big business actually helps fuel small businesses. Because I've seen so many times, like with James Hardy, and the partnerships that the city and the county had together to get the bridge that was sometimes called the Bridge to Nowhere is what got James Hardy here. But I know many, many times that James Hardy has used small businesses to either service them with work on the ground there, or food products, or whatever it might happen to be. So again, it takes so many little moving parts to come together to make that big project happen.
Thank you. That concludes our questions. You now have 1 minute for a closing statement.
Okay, thank you. Prattville, I'd like to say thank you for allowing me to serve the city that I love. Over these past years, we faced challenges, but we've turned them into opportunities. Investing in public safety, roads, drainage, and parks, while strengthening our financial footing with strong reserves and upgraded credit rating. At its heart, a municipality is a service-oriented organization. Our police, fire, public works, parks, and every other department serve our citizens every day. I would proudly put Prattville's departments beside any in Alabama. They are professional, dedicated, and innovative, and I'm honored to stand with them. Our path forward is clear. Continue partnering with our schools to help students be safe and prepared, grow jobs and workforce opportunities so our young people can build their future, support businesses with the infrastructure and environment they need to thrive. Prattville's momentum is strong because of teamwork between city leadership, our departments, and our citizens. Together, we built a city that's financially stable, forward-looking, and rooted in community pride. On August 26th, let's choose proven leadership, steady hands.
Mayor Gillespie, I'm terribly sorry, but that concludes.
Thank
Thank you very much. Our next candidate on stage will be Mr. Melling, David Melling. If you'll make it towards the stage, please. Good evening, Mr. Melling.
Good evening.
We have 3 questions for you tonight, and you'll have 2 minutes to respond to each one of those. And then we will have a closing statement by you, and you'll have 1 minute to respond to that. We have our timekeeper in the front. The yellow card is 30 seconds. The red card means that you've run out of time. So let's get started.
Yes, ma'am.
Question 1. For the past 30 years, economic and workforce development efforts have been housed within the Chamber, playing a critical role in supporting local business growth and talent development. As an elected official, how would you support and promote economic and workforce development in our city? And what specific strategies would you implement to ensure continued progress in these areas?
Having come from a manufacturing environment, spending 23 years working for Hewlett-Packard, working my way from assembly technician to engineer, I see the great need for economic development, manufacturing I'd really love, to be able to build something with your hands, to produce a product that you can be proud of. So in economic development, there's so many partners that need to come together to fulfill that vision of economic development for all aspects, because it impacts all levels of the community.
Thank you. Question 2. The Chamber maintains strong partnerships with the Autauga County Board of Education, Central Alabama Community College, as well as Maxwell Air Force Base. What do you believe the role and responsibilities of city government should be in supporting education and military affairs, and how would you work to strengthen these relationships?
Wow, that's a good one. Building relationships builds community. Within our business, we serve hospitality. We serve hospitality to whomever comes through our door. Building relationships builds strength. And not only do you see it from the very beginning from folks who will bring kids to our establishment, sharing the knowledge, building that camaraderie, the community, and we have really, this is an ideal location because there is so much involvement between Maxwell, between the Board of Education and the community, wanting all aspects to thrive and be excited about the next day.
Question 3. With 88% of our Chamber membership made up of small businesses, supporting entrepreneurship is a vital part of our local economy. What do you believe is the role of city government in fostering small business growth and entrepreneurship? And what specific initiatives would you champion to support these efforts?
I'd like to see a small business incubator to where we probably do have a building, a vacant building that we can outfit with, in a sense, the flea market layout, but it encourages small business in giving guidance, helping with their books, helping with their marketing, helping with their plan of how to manufacture, how to bring their ideas to fruition, and that's a small business incubator. And so, thinking I'm doing well answering the question. I'm sorry, I got lost.
Thank you very much. That concludes our questions. You now have 1 minute for a closing statement.
Getting out and involved, I met this week with the library to hear from their perspective. I also visited North Highlands Park to visit with Pastor Lucas. And from that was building relationships. And there we have it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our next candidate on stage will be Dennis Mullins. Mr. Mullins, if you'll make it towards the stage. Good evening, Mr. Mullins.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Mullins, you'll have 3 questions tonight. Each of those we'd like to give you 2 minutes each to respond to those questions. And then at the end, you'll have 1 minute for a closing statement. Our timekeeper is in the front. 30 seconds is a yellow card. The red card means it's time to go. So we're going to get started.
Okay, here we go.
Question 1.
Yes, ma'am.
For the past 30 years, economic and workforce development efforts have been housed within the Chamber of Commerce, playing a critical role in supporting local business growth and talent development. As an elected official, how would you support and promote economic and workforce development in our city? And what specific strategies would you implement to ensure continued progress in these areas?
Well, we've got to keep partnerships. That's what it's all about. We've got to continue to partner with the Chamber of Commerce. We've got to get back to CART-DEC, the Central Alabama Regional Development Authority that we got away from, so we need to get back with them. So I do believe in economic growth, but I believe that it's a quality over quantity. You can do too much growth, okay? So what we've got to do is we've got to slow it down, we've got to prioritize, we've got to get the smart people in the room and make the decisions that we have to see going forward, okay? Now, we got some industry growth that's going to be coming up in here that I've heard about, and I'm all for that. But what the backbone is our small businesses. They're being left behind. We need to work better with our small businesses. I mean, why bring in big growth when it taxes and puts a strain on our small businesses and possibly even puts some of them out of business? So we just need to keep working in partnerships with one another, bring smart people in the room. Some of the citizens here, bring them in. Let's hear what they have to say about it and see what they think about the growth that we have going forward.
Thank you. Question 2. The Chamber maintains strong partnerships with the Autauga County Board of Education, Central Alabama Community College, and Maxwell Air Force Base. Mm-hmm. What do you believe the role and responsibilities of city government should be in supporting education and military affairs, and how would you work to strengthen these relationships?
Top priority. Our city needs to be involved with the ACBOE, it needs to be involved with the military, and it needs to be involved with all aspects of bringing in the community together to work together. So as far as the ACBOE, we need to work with them and help them with their facilities to go forward and help fund some of the needs that they have. I talked to a lot of the educators. I've met with Lyman Woodfin. I believe in his vision. I believe in his dream. I believe that what we have done has caused a strain on what they have right now. So as far as going forward, we just need to work together in partnership. The military has about 900 executives that cycle through here every year with colonels and majors going to the Air War College, the command staff. So we need to work with them and make sure they want to come here. We need to have a city that wants them to come here. So in doing that, we go to them. I would want to get some of the smart, some of the retired colonels or generals here that could go and bring more, like a liaison with the military to let them know how our city's doing and what's going on. School's number one. When I talk to them, the education is the first thing that they look for. When they're looking to come to Maxwell or Gunner, the first thing they want is a good education for the children, public education. So that's what they're looking for. Now, they're not opposed to private school, but they want a good public education. They want to have a safe community. They want to have a good quality of life that they can bring their family here and maintain moving forward. And a lot of them end up retiring here. I'm a product of that, so.
Thank you. Question 3. With 88% of our chamber membership made up of small businesses, supporting entrepreneurship is a vital part of our local economy. What do you believe is the role of city government in fostering small business growth and entrepreneurship? And what specific initiatives would you champion to support these efforts?
Relationship. We need to have the relationship back. There's a disconnect going on right now within our city government from every entity out there. I mean, it's a disconnect. I want to be the one, I want to be the uniter in chief that reconnects us all back. I've heard from a lot of the small business owners, and they feel like they're being left behind. They do. They feel like their voices are not heard. They feel like they're being dismissed. They're being, it's been disrespectful to them from our city government, and that's what I'm hearing, you guys. So we need to work to foster the relationships because they are the backbone. They're the ones that provide us the things that we need for our everyday life. So going forward, we will have maybe some initiatives. We will have quarterly meetings with them. We will have a round table. I will have a round table to bring them to the table to see what their wants, their desires, and their needs are, to see if we can help them in any way that we can, whether it's economics, whether it's just support, volunteer support, whatever we can do to try to help them out.
Thank you. That concludes our questions. You now have 1 minute for a closing statement.
Y'all, we're at a crossroads. Our schools need help. We have a lot of needs. Our schools need help. There's a need for a new library. But my deepest concern is our financial sovereignty. We've got some debt right now. I mean, I've talked a lot about the debt here lately and the debt service, okay? So we just took out a $15 million warrant bond. That's a call date of 2035 and a maturity date of 2055. So we are getting this debt. Our debt's going to be our strangle. And if so goes our sovereignty, so goes it to help anybody else. We can't help the schools. We can't help to build a library. We can't do anything. So my job would be to get in there, do an audit to make sure that the money's there that we can do to help everybody that we need. So that would be one of my main topics, is to get in there and look at the finances and reunite everybody back, bring the citizens back to the table, bring businesses back to the table. So I want to be a uniter in chief.
Thank you, Mr. Mullins. That concludes your remarks.
I didn't even look at my notes.
This concludes tonight's forum. Please join me in thanking all of the candidates that participated in tonight's forum. As a reminder, the election will be on Tuesday, August 26th. The polls open at 7 a.m., close at 7 p.m. You will need to have an acceptable form of photo ID. There is a registration table at the entrance of Doster with voter registration information and district maps. You can go to alabamavotes.gov to confirm your registration status, ballot status, polling location, and address. On behalf of the Prattville Area Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors and the Governmental Affairs Committee, thank you for joining us for this forum. Have a good evening.